Hi Aquarius, this is Tisch Aitken, and this is your monthly report for the month of August. It is unbelievable to say that we're doing horoscopes for the month of August, but the summer has really been flying by. Now the big news is that Jupiter, which is the grand benefic, re-entered your sign on July 28th, and it will be there until December 29th of this year. Jupiter is the planet of expansion and opportunity. It represents good fortune and optimism and good luck, and it opens doors for you. And it's really nice to have it in your sign and in your house of new beginnings. It's going to really help you to reinvent yourself in the new age of Aquarius. At the end of last year, Saturn, which is the architect of the zodiac and rules your sign in ancient astrology, entered your sign on December 17th, and it will be there until March 7th of 2023. Jupiter will be there now until the end of the year, but last year the two met up on the winter solstice, the very first degree of Aquarius, ushering in the new age of Aquarius and helping us all to reinvent through connection and community and technology and inventiveness. And for you, again, Saturn in your sign is huge. It's going to be there quite a while, and Jupiter is opening doors. So really focus on networking and making connections and manifesting. Jupiter is the grand manifester as well. So in the beginning of August, the Sun and Mercury are both transiting in the fixed fire sign of Leo in your house of partnerships. This is good for socializing and connecting with other people. Mars and Venus are both transiting in the mutable earth sign of Virgo in your house of healing and transformation, as well as debt and credit and taxes. It's a good energy for confronting those issues, whether they're psychological or financial, and doing something to empower yourself with that energy. On the 1st of August, the Sun and Mercury meet up at 10 degrees of the fixed fire sign of Leo at 10:08 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time in your house of relationships, and it's a very creative energy. Later in the day, there are more challenging blocks, so if you're able to lay low and work on your own that day, that might be preferable. At 5:50 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Mercury opposes Saturn, and that could bring arguments for you or conflict. It could definitely bring delays and blocks in communication. Later in the evening at 11:14 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and on August 2nd at 2:14 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, the Sun opposes Saturn. That could bring breakups and endings. So again, lay low if you're able, because there are aspects of endings with the oppositions. On August 2nd, Juno, which is an asteroid that represents partnering, stations direct at 7:43 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And it stations direct in your house of friends and groups and networking. Again, you're a very social sign, and this is your time to really network and connect, particularly with Jupiter in your sign opening so many doors. And Juno stationing direct also helps that energy. Later on August 2nd at 11:53 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and on August 3rd at 2:53 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Venus forms a beautiful trine to Uranus and Taurus. And this could be really good for you for unexpected opportunities with money or real estate, or just fun, creative energy. It's a very nice energy. And later that day Mercury squares Uranus, and this occurs at 9:57 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that could bring unexpected news, and it could be a bit turbulent, but it can be very innovative. Uranus is the modern ruler of your sign, so you're pretty used to that kind of energy. And then on August 4th, the sun makes a beautiful trine to Chiron, the wounded healer, and this occurs at 6:41 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that's a very healing energy around relationships for you. And then on August 8th, there is a new moon that takes place at 9:50 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 16 degrees and 14 minutes of the fixed fire sign of Leo. And this new moon occurs in your house of relationships. This is a really good new moon. The sun is in its dignity and it loves being in Leo. The new moon is in your house of partnerships. If you're single, it's a great time for meeting new people. The new moon is always a time for setting intentions and planting new seeds. And this new moon is very focused on partnerships for you in many different ways. And it's conjunct Mercury, which brings a lot of new ideas and good for communication. So really working with that energy. On August 9th, Venus opposes Neptune, and that could bring deception potentially in partnerships or misunderstandings. This occurs at 8:20 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and for you it's falling in the financial houses, so just being wary that, you know, with money and with other people, just that things are clear. And then on August 10th, the sun opposes Mercury opposes Jupiter at 9:20 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And for you, I think that'll be very social and a lot happening with communication. It's not a negative energy, it's just very busy. And then on August 11th, Mercury, which is the planet of communication, enters the mutable earth sign of Virgo at 5:35 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and it'll be there until August 29th, and it's transiting in your house of money and healing, and a lot of focus on those areas for you, and really getting focused on debt or on your investments, and also on healing any issues you may have. And then on August 16th, or 15th rather, at 9:27 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Venus enters the cardinal air sign of Libra, where it will be until September 10th. And for you, this occurs in your house of hope and manifesting and optimism. And this also occurs on August 16th at 12:27 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. It's kind of late in the night on Pacific time, and this is a beautiful energy. This is a fellow air sign. Venus rules the sign of Libra. It's very centered on partnering and finding beauty and justice, and it's a really nice energy and really, I think, very creative for you. And if you're doing any creative projects that you're trying to promote or teach, or if you're doing travel in any way, it's just a really nice energy, and it forms a beautiful trine to your sun. So this is really good, and we've got it through September 10th, and it's positive for all of us. And then on August 18th, Mars and Mercury meet up at 9:28 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that can be more combative energy and a little bit more challenging around just not easiest. It could be difficult around finances or just combative. It's good for getting work done. And then on the 19th of August, the sun opposes Jupiter in your sign at 8:29 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And I think that's just a lot going on. Maybe you're socializing a lot. It can be excessive energy, but it's involving a benefic. I don't think it's negative. The big news of the day is that Uranus, which is the modern ruler of your sign, stations retrograde at 9:40 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 14 degrees of the fixed Earth sign of Taurus. And we feel that energy 5 days before and 5 days after. And for you, that's occurring in your house of home and family and emotional foundation. And so in that situation, you may find that perhaps there's a little bit of turbulence at home. For all of us, we're going to feel that energy again 5 days before and 5 days after. But Uranus rules your chart. Saturn does too, but Uranus is the modern ruler, and it can bring rapid change, a little bit of anxiety. So trying to temper that energy if you're able. But that's a big deal for you and for all of us, but it's the ruler of your chart. And then on August 20th, Mercury forms a beautiful trine to Uranus at 4:06 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that's very innovative energy and good for partnering with others in terms of brainstorming and coming up with good ideas. And then late on August 21st at 11:38 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and on August 22nd at 2:38 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Mars forms a beautiful trine to Uranus. And this could be really good for doing healing work around getting your needs met and around family and around your finances. Again, Mars is transiting in your house of inner healing and really trying to use that to face the wounds and the pain in order to heal. And that's a very innovative and helpful energy. And then on August 22nd at 8:02 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, there is a full moon that takes place at 29 degrees of the fixed air sign of Aquarius, your sign, and it falls in your house of self and new beginnings. And it is only within a degree of conjoining Jupiter, which is the grand benefic. Full moons are always emotional, and Jupiter does expand whatever it comes into contact with. But the moon in Aquarius is not particularly an emotional moon. So this probably could be a positive aspect in terms of bringing completion to things you've been working on. It could expand emotional issues potentially. Full moons are always a little out of whack, but I think it's a pretty positive energy. And later that day at 5:35 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, the sun enters the mutable Earth sign of Virgo, where it will be until September 22nd. And it's transiting in your house of healing and money. So more focus on that area of your life. And then on August 26th, Venus forms an opposition to Chiron, the wounded healer, at 9:24 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that is good energy for facing the wounds, particularly because at 10:23 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Mercury forms a trine to Pluto. And that is really good for up-leveling your thinking, helping you to empower your thoughts and do healing work. So it's very strong energy, good for business and good for feeling strong and courageous. And then on August 30th, Mercury enters the cardinal air sign of Libra at 1:10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, where it will be for quite a while because Mercury is going to retrograde on September 27th at 25 degrees of Libra. And for you, it's in your house of promotion and publicity and teaching. So a lot of focus this fall, well, this summer, late summer into the fall, on how you can expand your optimism, how you can learn more. If you're promoting yourself, maybe you're reassessing if you have your own business or if you're looking for work, how you can be more productive. I wish you a lot of luck, Aquarius. This is your time, and thank you.